Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of Talking with 3D. This is Real Talk for Real People. I am so excited for you to join me here tonight. I have the exciting cast of Wake Up Uncensored is with us today. I am so excited to have them here to talk with them. We're just going to be chopping it up and just talking about some hot topics today. As you see, I have Antwan, Keith, and King O is here joining us here on Talking with 3D. Mr. Antwan, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am well. I'm just excited once again just to see all three of y'all. I have the pleasure and the luxury of being invited to be a guest on their show. I really had a great time, and I said I have to have these gentlemen on my show. So they are here. So Mr. Antwan, tell us a little bit about your cast and a little bit about Wake Up Uncensored.
Absolutely. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for inviting us onto your platform so that we can share our experiences and talk to your audience about who we are and what we do. Wake Up Uncensored is a multicultural talk show, and we touch on several different topics, things that are a bit taboo that people are a little bit afraid to talk about. We talk about racism, the LGBTQ community, abandonment. Come on, Keith and Foday, I need y'all to chime in and help me get this out.
Growing up fatherless,
Yes.
body shaming, just whatever comes to mind that's not talked about, bullying and so forth and so on,
Hairstyles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about that.
All of us are from different backgrounds, different upbringing. So we all give our input in very different ways as well.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, if y'all would just do me a big favor, tell everybody, again, I've already gave your name up, but tell everybody your name. Tell us just a little bit about something about you, something exciting that you think that nobody knows about you. And I'm going to start with Mr. Keith.
Well, my name is Keith C. And something interesting about me, I'm recently learning stunt work for acting roles. So didn't see that one coming. So yeah, that's it. Other than that, though, I am a professional model, singer, songwriter as well. I dance. So I've been in different musicals, written my own songs, ripped the runway, this country and other countries. Now I'm just taking on some more acting. I've been blessed enough to be a permanent cast member now for Wake Up Uncensored. So big ups there. And other than that, I'm just hustling smart and as hard as possible.
I know that's right. What kind of music do you basically write? What do you love? What is your go-to for music?
Ooh, that's a good one. I really do enjoy writing either one of two genres. I love to sing slow ballads. I love to belt, and I love to also use my falsetto. And I like to challenge myself, so I would go as high as possible, ridiculous. And but the type of music I love and the genre that I like to create is more so either rock or on the countryside. I love the instrumentations there. First, I guess it would be more so of just like the guitars, the pianos, the raw emotion that you can convey in those type of songs. That's just me. And that's how I feel about it.
If you writing about country music, you writing about somebody. So go ahead, tell us the gossip. Tell us who you writing about.
Oh man, well, I got to put my glasses on for this one. This is a read here, right? So I mean, look, I got one hand. I'm trying to put them on. Oh, they crooked. Lord have mercy. Look, that's all you get. Look, they on one ear and off the other.
That's all right.
That's my mental state. But
you're stalling.
I know I'm stalling. But my music is about a lot of different journeys that I've been through. So whether it was the ups and downs, the heartbreak, the love, aggression, or if there was a fighting spirit, different struggles, whether it was like alcohol or substances, things that I've seen in my family as well. If there was different types of abuse, mental, physical, spiritual abuse, I write about all those things and I put them into my music. So a lot of the stories that I write aren't about me. I've written a song on an album that I am going to put out. is still in the works, but I wrote a song from the perspective of my parents and me being a king, but them being kings and queens as well. So I guess I'm a prince, if you per se, and them being a kings and queen, and somehow they found me or I found them kind of spin on things. And I'm
Okay.
just taking a journey like if they were kids and if they were more how would my father had charmed my mother, or how would my mother, have charmed my father? And then with them and their relationship being very rocky to them being separated at this time, it's like even though they're still the best of friends, that relationship it was unchanged, but it was changed, if that makes sense. Like
Mm.
they're not together as a whole piece, but they understood that they had to come together to raise us. And now now they're fine, but it was such a rocky road living from place to place to place and not seeing my father to seeing him to not seeing him. It was
Wow.
very, tumultuous. So my music I just focusing on those points. I know I wrote a song where it's about my nephew who was born in, I wouldn't say he was more of a mistake, but he was rushed. He was unplanned for
Mm.
my sister to be pregnant at that young age. So it was just like, I wrote a whole song, me singing about him to calm him down, because when I used to babysit and sing to him, he would stop crying or we would both take a nap at that point. I done screamed at the top of my vocals till we both were tired and sleep. And I wrote a song for him. So it's just little things like that along my journey. I just write. That's what I do. I write what I feel.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have ran out of time. Thank you for tuning in to Talking with 3D. We got the true Hollywood story from Keith.
Oh,
Thank you.
oh, don't forget to see.
Don't forget to see.
Derek,
Listen, we got King Foe. Do we call you King Foe?
Yeah, it's more of an alter ego.
Okay.
Foday Silla. But most people know me as the bad guy of the show, or the arrogant, uppity boy of the show.
Uh-huh.
But anybody who knows me outside the show knows that it's more so of a character than it is the real Foday. I am a professional athlete. I am an actor. I am a model. I am a huge foodie, and I also sometimes write poetry. And I hope to have more interesting characters on the show so I can portray my alter ego as the spoiled little brat and argue with Antwan and make sure Keith comes to my side as most as possible, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Well, listen, Foday, how did you meet Keith and Antwan and become a part of Wake Up Uncensored?
It was actually a bit of an accident in a way. We met, I believe, the end of 2019. Remind me if I'm wrong, Antwan.
No, you're correct.
Yeah, and he called me in for an interview. We came in, he was also interviewing somebody else who me and that person are from the same region, or was our backgrounds from the same region, which is West Africa. We sat on a panel and we clicked together so brilliantly that we all just decided to have an idea. Why not all three of us come together and just make a show about talking to people? And it was quite strange because when people saw us, they thought that we were best friends. But the truth was, we never actually met. We just sat together. We had a very cordial conversation. And it was weird because, again, all three of us came from quite different parts of life. And we wouldn't be the type of people, like, let's say, in a high school environment to ever talk to each other or hang out with each other. But somehow, three Black men sat on the table, had a very beautiful conversation, and it was quite loved by a few people. So, and that's how we met. And now I'm stuck with them.
Now you're stuck with them. Mr. Antwan, how are you doing, sir?
I'm amazing.
Tell me about starting Wake Up Uncensored. Are you the mastermind of Wake Up Uncensored?
Thank you. I feel, and I really appreciate that. I feel privileged and honored to I guess hold such a title. Wake Up Uncensored. It's my baby. It's like literally like my baby. I remember I started this journey about 3 years ago. Um, actually, I'm stumbling a little bit because I'm a little bit nervous because the roles are being switched. I'm typically interviewing people,
Right.
and now I'm being interviewed. So y'all gotta give me a second. Yeah. So the journey of Wake Up started about maybe 3.5 years ago. I had an idea for a talk show. Originally, it was just an individual concept of me interviewing people in the DMV area. And then I was like, I want to do something different. I want to be transparent. I want to be able to reach as many people as I can possibly reach. And I remember one day I woke up and it was almost like God or the universe was talking to me and saying, like,
Mhm.
you need to make you need to make a cultural impact. And the only way for me to do that was to find people that not only looked like me, but kind of represented the same morals and values that I valued as well. And what people don't know is Keith, Foday, and we had another cast member whose name is Will, who was with us for season one. They weren't the original people a part of the show. So
Mhm.
yeah, this is so I'm dropping some real tea right now, y'all. Like I'm
Right.
dropping
So y'all was an afterthought. Okay.
not not necessarily.
No, go
Um,
ahead. Just
they
tell
weren't.
it like it is.
Yeah, they
This
were.
is
They
real
I'm
were.
talk
listening.
for real
There were
people.
three. There were
I'm
three other
listening. Go ahead.
guys. Okay, now Keith is about to grill me. So there
Go
were
ahead. I'm
three
listening.
other
Go ahead.
guys that were originally a part of the show, and for whatever reason they dropped out. They felt like it wasn't a good fit for them. We're not a talk show that we gossip about people and we were trying to get the tea on, like who's sleeping with who, who's doing what. I mean, we do kind of dab into stuff here and there, but that's not our genre per se.
Right.
So yeah, so we had three other guys originally a part of the show. For whatever reasons, they dropped out. And I remember calling Keith and Foday at the 11th hour. I think it was the day of. Am I correct, y'all, or incorrect? It was the morning of that. I was actually on my way back to the studio to continue filming because I'd already begun the whole production process and I
Mhm.
had a few episodes under my belt individually. But I remember we had to go through like everybody who had responded to the casting, and I saw Keith on something before. I don't remember. Don't beat me up, Keith, because I honestly don't remember. But I remember when I came across him, I was like, he looks very familiar. I didn't know much about him, but I was like, I want him on the show. Like
Okay.
we were between like a rock, we were caught between a rock and a hard place. So I was like, we want him on the show. And I called Keith, and Keith, you were hesitant. I don't know if you remember, you were
Mm.
hesitant. You was like, what are we doing? When? How? What? Where? Keith had like a few questions, and I almost thought for a split second, that you weren't going to show up. Truth be told,
Mm.
yeah, because Keith
So,
was like, okay, 12 o'clock. And
so
then
Keith was playing hard to get.
Keith was kind of, yeah, he was a hard catch. He was,
That's right.
um,
You better stay that way. That's right.
okay.
I'm a real one. That's why, AP.
Yeah,
Hey.
you're a real one. Okay, I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that. You're
Okay.
a real one. And Foday, originally, me and you were gonna do a one. We did do a one-on-one interview that didn't air because it wasn't the right time. It wasn't the
Mm.
right time, the right episode, so it didn't air. And I remember asking Foday, I was like, I have this idea. I want three black men, like three young black men with strong views and opinions to sit at this panel with me and just talk about different things. And would you be interested in joining the panel with us? And immediately I remember, Fo, you were like, yeah, I'll do it, like with no hesitation. Like Fo was in, like from the
Right.
jump. And yeah, that's how it happened. And I don't want to forget about Will because he was a part of the process from the beginning.
Right.
Um, he sat at the panel with us as well for the first year. And as they say, the rest is history. We went in,
Yeah.
we did the work, and right now we are still here. We still exist, and we still making major moves. And that's how Wake Up became what it is today.
Wake Up Uncensored.
Yes,
Well,
uncensored.
again, ladies and gentlemen, you heard how they got started and just how they're going to be continuing on. It is so exciting to see three black men that are, following their passion, following their dreams and everything. And I just want to just encourage y'all and just let you know that it's a lot of work And we always have to stay positive because people are going to be talking about us and people always got something to say. They're not going to like the show. They're going to love the show. But the thing is that you stay true to who you are and stay true to your show, you will have big success. So, and you never did call me Antwan to be part of the show, but that's okay because now I got my own show. So, but ladies and gentlemen.
So about that.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back. You are watching Talking with 3D, where real talk is for real people. I am here with my special guest, Wake Up Uncensored, Antwan, Foday, and Keith. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, Mike, how old is your mom?
What?
No, not like that. No, it is like that. How old is she? I come in the house, she was like, you want to eat? I said, eat what?
So first of all, put my plate down and stop hitting on my mom, man.
Don't get mad at me. I don't even want to be here. Y'all the ones that want to be here. I want to go to the strip club. Man, wrap this up. I got a bunch of ones and somebody gonna get them. Miss Loretta, I'm ready for the rest of the tour.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Once again, you're watching Talking with 3D. I am your host, Derek Darrell Dixon. I have the cast of Wake Up Uncensored. They are here with me. Keith, Antwan, and Foday are here, and we are going to be topping it up, just talking about some hot topics today. I also just want to say we have 3 beautiful Black men. And I said the word beautiful because the fact that we as Black men, it is so hard for us to really give each other accolades. And because the fact that a lot of times we always feel like, it messes with your sexuality. We don't do that because the fact we're men, we're Black men. What do y'all think that the fact that, people, we as men, it's so hard for us to say, hey, that looks nice on you today, or you look nice today, or you look great today. Why is that so hard for us as not just men, but Black men to really give each other accolades? Why can't we give us our flowers? Now, go on, Mr. Antwan.
Yeah, because he got that hand up, and I was like, let me just watch some. Go ahead.
Okay. I feel like for me, to be a young Black male, I noticed that in our community, as a people, I think that we're frightened by complimenting other Black men, and I think part of the reason why is because in our community, it's been taught, and it could be possibly a generational curse, I don't know, but it's taught that you have to grow up and be like masculine and hardcore, and you can't show emotions, and you can't, say I love you, or especially as it pertains to another male, or you look good, or I think that that's you're handsome or fitting, or whatever verbiage or terminology you want to use. I feel as though in our community, it's something that if you say something of that stature, it's frowned upon. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the reason why we don't compliment each other and we don't give each other accolades. And that's a generational curse that I want to break, because I always tell people, I'm Black and I love being Black. I'm a proud Black man, but I'm not a hardcore, Black guy. Like, I'm not out here trying to fight people. And it's okay to show emotions. It's okay to say, you look good, you look great. You're a great person. I respect what you're doing. I love the hustle. It's okay to give each other accolades. I feel like we need someone to break those barriers and to really make a difference within our community. And that's why, y'all, we got to Wake Up Uncensored, because that's what we do over here.
And I think that's why we go through a lot of depression, because of the fact that we have to hold in all of those feelings, and we're not able to really express how we feel and when we feel it and why we feel it. So, everything that you're saying is so true. We have to be able, I have 3 boys, and every night I say, I love you. Every night they give me a kiss, because it's the fact that I want them to be able to express how they feel and be able to come to me as their father and express how they feel. So, Foday, what do you have to say about that?
My opinion is always going to be controversial, but I completely, in a way, disagree. I don't think that Black men don't show emotions. I think they show it in a different way. For example, you guys remember when you say like, oh, we're just joining each other. Black guys wouldn't say, "Oh, you look good." They would just be like, "Fam, you know what I mean? Like, you look scrappy today." That's just the way we saying, like, you know, you look cool today. A black guy
Mm.
wouldn't say, "I love you." They would say, "Oh, stop being soft." You know, it's not, you don't have to say, "I love you" to somebody to show that you care. We join each other. We have our own way of doing things. And I think it's the same thing that the media always does, is they show that black man, certain things they do is bad, but in a way, we just have our own way of doing it. There's no need for me to go to some other dude or to Antwan and Keith and say, "Oh, guys, I love you." No, we know that they're my best friends, that we care about each other. But every day you're gonna see me say, "Oh, Antwan, stop being soft. Antwan, stop being shady." Constantly, I'll say those things, but we know we're best friends. It's just something that we do. It's just our own way of showing that we care for each other. We don't have to follow some other culture's way of doing it. And on that note, the whole saying that black men don't do that, it's only an American stereotype. In
Mhm.
Africa, black men hug each other all the time. But they sit around each other, the kids will say something to the dad, and so on and so forth, and they will cry in front of each other. So that stereotype is only in America, and it's obviously in America because America is the number one country in the world. You can argue about it, but it's the truth. Black Americans are the most loved and hated people in the world.
Right.
Everybody wants to listen to our music, do everything we want to do, but no one wants to be black in terms of the backlash we have. That's just my opinion.
Let me ask you this: when we say use the word like fam, things like that, do you think that a lot of times we hide behind those names? Because why not just say "I love you" instead of having to say "fam"? And then I have to, because I'm in a different culture, I'm in a different genre. So now I got to dissect. Okay, what does "fam" mean? What are you trying to say to me? What does that mean? So instead of you just saying it, why do I have to dissect what you're saying?
The same reason that you have to dissect, the same way if an Englishman from England came over here, they wouldn't say the same thing as an American, but every white American will easily just be like, "Oh, I understand it." So why
Mhm.
is it that they have a problem dissecting our word of saying things, but they give that much respect to somebody from an island, from an Australia? Because Australia doesn't sound like us. They say completely different things. So
Right.
how come they get the respect, but we don't? I'm not saying that black men shouldn't show emotions. Obviously, they should because they're human beings, they're not robots. I'm just saying the way we show it should be given a little more respect, not put
Okay.
down. Because, like all these other cultures get their respect, even Asians get their respect. But when we do things, it's always criticized. And when we get put in court system, we always get like the biggest punishment. So that's what I'm saying. It's like maybe we should have more of the respect factor. But I do agree in terms of like, yeah, obviously, yeah, black guys should show emotions. It's just
Yeah.
the way we do it. You know what I mean? Like we gotta do things cool. Like
Right.
for example, like I'm not gonna say you know what I mean. I'm gonna like you know what I mean. Like so, like it's just a respect factor.
Well, see, I grew up in Denver, Colorado, so I enunciate every syllable. So
Yeah. See, I grew up in Northern Virginia, but I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah.
right. Keith, tell me, how do you feel on the whole subject? Because I know that you're a person that does express how they feel and express it to other people.
Man, well, it took some time to get there.
Uh-huh.
Like King Fo and AP were saying, as you listen to those two, you kind of see sometimes I neutralize the situation between these two, balance them out. And I will say though, growing up, there were moments where in the household, my family, being my brothers or my father, would show affection in two completely different ways, or show the meaningfulness or the love two completely different ways. Let's say my father, he would say, "I love you," or whatever. It was something that he might have done that was something that was endearing, but I knew he loved me. Versus my brother, whom I would say, "Oh yeah, I love you," and he wouldn't say things, or he would say, "Yeah, I got you," or "All right, yo, you cool," you know, I'm gonna do this to you so nobody on the street will do this to you. So it was two different things, but I was like, he loves me with a question mark, like he loves me, you know. But when it comes to that, showing that side of, for males to show that other side, I believe we have to be at a level of comfortability and vulnerability. Because if we are comfortable with someone to say, you know what, you look good today, fam, or you look tight, versus, wow, you are a very handsome man, and be comfortable on the level where you're either your sexuality or your pride is on the level of a bazillion, and you feel confident that day saying it to somebody, then say it. Why not? Because just as another, like you were saying, Fo, just like other ethnicities might show it, as African American males, let's show it, because then we might break a certain barrier and get out of depression. Because those folks who are saying, oh, my parents or my father, my brother, my cousin don't love me. It's like, no, they love you. Maybe it's just how they're showing you, but it's something that's taught. If it's taught, then it's going to keep on being taught. So after a while, you have to break that chain. So on the whole matter, I feel like it comes from different people. If I'm around someone who is not close family and I express it to them and they reciprocate it, and it's not like, oh, I love you, no homo. It's like, we don't have to say that after. I know.
Right.
We care about each other, but I didn't think about it on that level, because why are we there? It would be like, you know what, I do love you, or I have love for you. You can phrase it different ways, so that way nobody else is uncomfortable or you're not uncomfortable. But I feel like it starts with a person getting vulnerable or becoming vulnerable and becoming their true nature, finding out, yo, I really do care about, man, let me give you the flowers now before you're too late to receive them, you know?
Right.
So if you want to
I always thought, not to cut you up, but I always thought that the comment, I love you, no homo, was very offensive. I think it was very offensive, because I'm like, why do you have to say that? Well, I mean, because the fact that you said, you know, I love you, so then I don't think it's genuine, because the fact you had to put that stipulation on the end of it.
Well, I love you only if it's not only if it's not homosexual. So if it's homosexual, I don't love you. So I have to make you feel. Because I said so, and you know what, Derek? Not to cut you off, but I'm used to being cut off with AP. But go ahead, AP.
I'm so sorry. I'm working on it. No, go ahead, Keith, because I was.
Oh, no. I'll mute myself. Go ahead.
No, I just had to chime in about when people, because I've had people say that to me constantly. I love you, no homo. I think, again, it's about being masculine. It's something like Keith, you said a little while ago. These are things that are being taught, especially with Black men. It's not even just the Black community; it's Black men in particular. Like, we are subject to these things where, you know, like, you can't, we can't even go up to each other like on the street and just give each other like a real hug. It's like, okay, you know how you use the hand and
don't touch me. That's right. They're like,
no, but you got to have the hand in the chest, so that way you're not touching chest to chest. You got to have your hand there.
And don't hug too hard either, because if you get too good of a hug,
Black men don't hug though. Like, we usually dap each other up.
Yeah, exactly. We dap each other up, because if we hug, then they're gonna be like, okay, y'all just.
See, I'm a hugger. So when you see me, King Fo, I'm gonna hug you.
No, it's not that. It's just like, usually, like, we dap each. You know what I mean? Like, we dap each other up. It's like, you know, when Black people walk in the street and then we just like give ourselves that, and we don't know each other. I feel like that's just like a thing that we do. Because a lot of one of my white friends, they will ask me, they be like, why do you guys do that to each other? Do you know each other? And I'm like, no, that's just like, it's a brother.
It's a universal
like, what's up? Yeah.
Like, when you walk past somebody and you see them, I feel like, yes, with our ethnicity, African Americans, we always nod. If you don't know them and they're distance apart, I feel like one thing too is, sometimes, I'm not sure if it's a masculine thing or what, but males don't make eye contact with other males. It's almost like a threat, like the animal kingdom. It's like, if you look at another male in the eyes, it's almost like inflamed. Like, oh, what like, why you staring at me? Like what you looking at? If you look in the eyes. But I find myself doing it more often because I want to speak. And especially if it's a service being done for me, like I'm ordering food or something, and I'm looking at you, I look at your name tag and I say, oh, thank you, AP. Now they're just looking at me like, and it happens daily. They'll look at you like, huh? Like, you know my name? Somebody said, you know my name? And I said, well, yeah, you're wearing it.
Yeah.
But we're not used to speaking and addressing each other, you know?
I look you in the eye because of the fact that in case I got to later on down the road, I need to tell a description. I know what you look like. I know what your eye color is. I know what your name is. I know what your teeth look like. I'm going to look you up and down. That's what I'm going to do. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back. We're going to take another quick break. And I'm here with the cast of Wake Up Uncensored. We're going to come back and we're going to be talking about interracial dating. This one should be exciting. We'll be right back.
I wake up in the middle of the night, my stomach is killing me. I call the front desk. A woman picked up the phone. She said, "Hello, front desk, may I help you?" It's the first time that I heard English outside of my friends since I've been to Japan. You would have thought that I was Tom Hanks in Castaway. I lost it. Ah! Chicken! Please, chicken! She was like, "Sir, calm down, calm down. What room are you in?" I don't know. She said, "Look at the phone. Your room number is on the phone." Okay, I'm in room. Line dash cross house. I don't know how to read it. It looks like an abandoned building with no windows made out of bamboo sticks. I don't know. So excited. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Talking with 3D, where real talk is for real people. Y'all should have been here behind the scenes because Wake Up Uncensored, let me tell you something. They go at it with each other, but they do it with the brotherly love. So that's what I love about them. So again, thank you guys for just coming and just being on Talking with 3D. Listen, we want to get into talking about interracial dating because, I think that that's a topic that a lot of time it's taboo. Sometimes, people don't want to talk about it. A lot of people don't want to accept it. It's different when it's Black men dating white women than white women dating Black men. And it's funny that it's frowned upon when Black women date white men. But a lot of times Black men dating white women, if you are, say, status, athletic, an athlete, or something like that, then it's okay. If you are in the entertainment business, it's okay. But your average Joe walking down the street, you are frowned upon. You like, oh, so what? Especially if a Black man is dating a white woman, other Black women are going to look at that Black man and be like, oh, so we're not good enough. What's wrong with us? Oh, he likes her pretty, silky blonde hair. Oh, he likes the fact that she does this and does that. So I'm going to start with King Fo because I see Antwan and Keith looking down over at King Fo. So there must be something to it that he is the expert in interracial dating. So Mr. King Fo, let's hear from you.
Okay. Okay, yes. On this set, I am the one who has an interracial relationship or had an interracial relationship. I would say 90% of the women I've dated have not been Black women. What you said was completely correct. I do get weird looks. As soon as Black women find out that I have dated or date white women, they tend to look at me, or some of my cast members tend to look at me as if I'm a coon, as if I have betrayed my kind, which if you wanna, I don't care about what someone looks like. I think you should always judge somebody on who they are, not their physical appearance in terms of like skin color or who their parents or so and so are, because the person itself has a different soul. Now that's said, if you want to make an argument out of it, let me switch character back to King Fo. If you want to put it in a way of like, oh, it's better to date a Black girl, technically, to be argumentative, no, it's not. Because if you want to end the struggle, if you're with the whole Black power movement, I'm doing you the biggest favor of all time. Because there's only one way that you can create a white person. That's if one white person marries another one. If every single one of us marries a white person, the struggle will end, equality comes to an ending. That is just what my feeling is. If you have an argumentative or racist side to it, if you don't have a racist side to it, I would say that it's quite ignorant to say that. It's quite hypocritical, because in the end of the day, you should care about what makes somebody happy. If you say, oh, that other black, that's a black brother, that's a black sister, why not care for them? Why not say, oh, she makes you happy? Yes, if she disrespects your culture, then there's an issue. But if she is making the person happy, then it's completely fine for a white person to date a black person to date a Hispanic or a Asian, or so on and so forth. So Foday himself doesn't care about somebody's race, culture, sexuality. I just care about the person. King Fo, on the other hand, it is what it is. I'm doing y'all a favor. Y'all gotta sit back, relax. Let a brother, elevate himself and stop being a hater. But overall, just be a good person. That's all I'm saying.
So Foday, let me say this because, and I'm going to switch into the gears of the women, how they may think. And again, this is just me speaking. So if a black woman is walking down the street and they see you on the arm or a white woman's on your arm, and they look at you, now I'm going to say that they're going to look at you. First off, you are of your texture, just the way that your hair is, your accent and everything. So they portray you as this real black man. So therefore, they are going to question it of why the fact that you may find white women more attractive. Now, I'm going to say this because the fact that you say 95% of the women that you have been attracted to or dated have been of white women, Caucasian women. So therefore, if you are, you say love is love, but why is only 5% love can be black, but the 95% love can be of the white persuasion?
Okay, I have a perfect example for that. Oh, I have a perfect explanation for that. Excuse my English. The 5% itself is not black, it's African. The reason I say that is because, some people are going to be like, oh, it's not the same thing. It's just for... But the 95% is, I grew up in Northern Virginia. I grew up in a white picket fence. A lot of people around me were white. So that explains like majority of like high school and so on and so forth is white. That's self-explanatory. Moving on to college and so on and so forth, and I'm speaking as, I'm not into the character, I'm just speaking as Foday, my personal self. And when I went to certain areas when I was in college or when I came back here, I ask out many black women when we go on dates or when I have conversations with them. The first thing, and I am completely 100% sure a lot of black men will agree with me in this. They said, I'm not thuggish enough. They said, I'm not hood enough. They said, I speak too white. They had all these complaints, and all these complaints, it's not that I treated them bad. I opened the door for them. I treated them as perfect as I would want somebody to treat my own mother. But they said I wasn't thuggish enough, even though I'm a professional fighter. They said that because I don't sag my pants enough, I dress too IT-wise, too geeky-wise, even though I'm a model. So in terms of that, it's a bit of a turnoff when I take a black girl. I go up to a black girl and say, oh, do you want to go on a date with me? We sit down. And the first thing she said is like, oh, how come you don't act hood enough or you don't bring out that what other black men bring out? And simple fact is...
Now, who is saying this to you? The black women are saying this to you?
Yes, they are. Multiple
because my thing is this, because I grew up in Denver, Colorado. I grew up, I went to a high school and graduated with 350 people in my class. There was 5 blacks in my class. We grew up in a white area. Again, everybody thought we were the little black rich kids in the neighborhood, and we had everything. And I've heard also, you speak too proper, you do this, you do that and everything, but I never got, if going out on dates and people saying you're not Black enough, because you have to be around people, attract like-minded people. So therefore, I never had an issue with somebody telling me you're not thuggish enough, you don't sag your pants enough. They're gonna love me for me, and if you don't love me for me, that doesn't mean, oh well, I'm gonna go try something. And I've dated white women, I've dated out of my race, but the thing is that I did not make that stop me from still being me and being attracted to say, Black women or white women, whoever. But the fact is that you can't sit there and be sit there and make people think because you're not this enough that you're not enough.
It's not the reason. The reason is, for example, I am a very confident, some might say arrogant, but I'm very confident and I'm very prideful. I do believe that Africans are the greatest people in the world. I believe that I was born in the greatest continent in the world and I was raised in the greatest country of all time. I believe that. I'm very prideful. The point that I'm making is I'm not gonna go out of my way to please a bunch of women who don't want me. If those other women want me, I will happily go there because I do it for my own enjoyment. Now that said, I really don't date a lot. Don't make it seem just because AP calls me, what does he say, a hoe? I really don't date a lot.
Allegedly. Go ahead.
Allegedly, ladies and gentlemen. So if you meet King Po on the street, he's not a hoe.
Yeah, it's just a it's just a thing that I've gotten because they see a lot of women around me, but I really don't date a lot. I've dated up to maybe 6 women my entire life, and it happened to be like 4 of them are white, 1 is Hispanic, and the other 1 is African. So that's just how I don't date a lot. In terms of the Black women part, I am not gonna go out of my way and please anybody. Keith will tell you that himself. I do things for my own pure enjoyment. If they say, oh, you're not thuggish enough, I would say, okay, it was nice meeting you. I will bring in another white girl. She will sit there. If she makes me smile, we continue. If she doesn't, she will step aside. A Hispanic will step up and we keep going till I find somebody that can put a smile to my face. People can say, oh, that's very arrogant, he's full of himself. Well, everybody have their own world. Some people believe something, that's their own problem. I'm not committing a crime. I'm just saying I do things to make myself happy. If they say, oh, you're not hood enough, go find yourself a hood dude. That's your business. I'm gonna move on to the next girl that likes me. I'm not here to make you happy. The only people I have to make happy are the people, are my mother and my father and my family. That's the only thing it says. Everybody else, they're fair game. That's all I'm saying. It's not that I hate Black women. If a Black woman came up to me and asked me to another date, I will happily go out on a date with you. I'm always interested in going out with Black women. If a white woman come up to me, I will go out on a date with you. It just so happened, as I walk around, white women will come up to me and say, hey, you look beautiful. I like your hair. Let's go on a date. Hispanic woman, I play soccer and all that. Oh, let's go do this. African women, I'm African, so it's a done deal. But that's just how it is. And I am not going out of my way. I'm not apologizing. If the Black women on Twitter, Black Twitter want to come after me, go for it. I'm going to be at home playing video games. Like, it is what it is. I'm just saying.
Well, listen, the comments are blowing up. The women are going to be commenting all over the place. And listen, my thing is you love who you love. And I can't stop anybody from loving who they love, white, Black, Hispanic, whatever. You love who you love. So my only thing is that everybody, when you love who you love and you meet somebody, you have to come into the relationship open-minded. You can't sit there and say, Black, white women say you look good. Hispanic women say this, Black women say this. That's like going back to when we were talking about earlier, saying I love you. Different people have different ways of saying things. So if a Black woman walks up and says, hey, I want my man a little thuggish or something like that. Okay, you just like, all right. So that's when you kick in the King Poe and say, all right, fam, where you want to go to dinner tonight? That's where that works.
I wanted to add to that. I wanted to piggyback over what y'all just said. Sometimes it's not always about love. Sometimes it's lust. I mean, I'm keeping it
That's
100.
right.
Sometimes white women in particular, they want to date us Black men because I know for me, I've heard white women say that they just want to try it and see if it's true what they say. That once you go Black, you never go back because size does matters. I mean, I'm just.
No, wait a minute, AP. Wait a minute.
Okay,
You ain't
because
never heard that said to you?
that's my midnight show. That's my midnight show.
Hey, we on the wrong time.
Oh, wait, okay.
Good night, Uncensored.
Okay, I'm
Right.
gonna keep it PG because I know we might have some.
Yes,
Yeah,
some of our
right.
young
When are you
listeners.
going to keep something PG?
I just wanted to throw that out there. That's all. Sometimes it's not always love; it's lust. They're like, okay, I want
And
to try.
that's true. I mean, let's keep it real. So, and the people hear things, and they do. They wanna try it out, and they want to see.
With trying it. You never know what you like until you try it.
Right, right. Listen, we're gonna have to take one other last quick break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about our last topic, and that's success and the cost of it. So we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Come right back, get a snack, and come back to Talking with 3D.
Let me look under these appetites, reserves.
Miss.
What?
Appetizer.
You so smart, huh? You don't know nothing? What you know? What's a nacho?
It's on the menu.
What is a nacho?
A nacho is chips. It comes with cheese and
No,
salsa.
a nacho is when you see a fine man that belongs to somebody else that's something that's not yours. Now, what you know? What you know?
Work it out. You better work it out.
You don't know nothing. You so smart.
Little young buck.
That's what's your problem. You're too smart for your own good. Go back there and find me some collard greens, mashed potatoes, ham hocks, chitterlings, and some sweet tea. Make sure it's sweet. If it ain't sweet, Black folk will open every pack of sugar at a restaurant for one glass of tea.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to talk about success and the cost of it. Because I think a lot of people, now that we are on the internet and the media sensation has changed so many things. And people do what they can to be successful, to have a name and have a platform. Us 4 men, we started a platform, Wake Up Uncensored. I have Talking with 3D. I originally started with helping brothers out and started the platform because of the fact I wanted to inspire people. I wanted to give people a chance to have a voice and to be heard and a safe place where to talk. And I think now we use the internet for so much more. We have OnlyFans, and people are on OnlyFans making buku money. But how long can you do OnlyFans? And what is the cost of doing something like that? Because of the fact that you want to make some quick money. So success and the cost of it. I'm gonna start with you, Antwan. What are your thoughts on that? And this, let me put this disclaimer on here. I'm not down on anybody and their hustle and what they do. Because again, you do you, let me do me. So the hustle is, I think that's the thing nowadays is the hustle. So what do you say, Antwan?
My thoughts on it is success and popularity, or success and fame, however you want to define the two, are two totally different things. So when you're trying to become successful, you have to differentiate between, do I want to become successful, or do I just want people to like me, or always saying my name and excuse me, liking my pictures on Instagram? Because we live in a day and age where social media is everything, and people think that because you have 1 million followers that you are successful. And it's not that you're not successful, but sometimes we confuse the two, and we think that, okay, because I got like 100 people that likes me on Instagram or they talking to me constantly, I'm successful. And I'm like, no, success means different things to different people.
It does. Yes, Keith.
Man, oh man, AP put it good. Success does mean different things to different people. And I will say the cost of success, you have to understand and take into consideration the hours that you would have to put in. You have to build yourself more so of a guideline and a roadmap. And if you're unsure to do so, find yourself a mentor or someone whom is on a level higher than yours and see if there's ways that you could talk to them about what they do. You're going to have to make sacrifices. There are a lot of sacrifices with success versus popularity, because you could be popular today and unpopular tomorrow. But if you're successful in what you do, then that's something that you continue to build and build and build. You know, you don't plateau and then that's it. I mean, some people probably do when they reach a certain point of success, but normally if you are on a successful path, then you'll figure out that, okay, if I'm doing one thing and I'm just, this is my success right here. Why am I just doing this when I could do this? And then maybe I could do this. You know, you continue to build, you continue to be around more like-minded people when you do want to become successful. But when you want to be popular, that's different. You bring in a whole different crowd when you want to be popular. You know, you can get a lot of comments, but true success, and I will say, because I'm working on being successful, not just popular, you work on quality. So you have to consider the quality of what you're doing as well.
And success, a lot of people always think success means entertainment. And they think that you have to be in entertainment to be successful. You can be successful and have a lawnmower business. And you know, you making have $1 million business running a lawnmower business, you know, being a baker or anything. So success is a mindset of what you want to do. It's not what, like Keith is saying, because the fact I want to be popular. You know, what is it within me that makes me successful? So Foday, you being you know, an actor and being a model, what do you see some of the issues today that our young people are doing, trying to be successful, especially as Antwan was saying, in the social media era?
In terms of what they're doing wrong is nowadays these new kids, they tend to do the most vile things just so they could get a quick, I would say a quick praise, a quick cash, which is quite, it's awful. It makes you, because they have a longer lifespan to go. So I see a lot of them, they would go get alcohol, or you see these kids, they put a gun and they put it on social media just to get a quick look. That's one of the biggest problems I'm seeing. Obviously, I am leaning towards the more like bad side of social media. I think there's also good sides to it. I think I don't think success for me, I agree with the previous two, the statements that Antwan and Keith said. Success for me is when you have made it. So for me, success is when you've made it. Fame for me is when you're known for something. For example, you could be famous or infamous for something you did. That does not make you successful. It just means you're well known. That does not make you rich. It just means you're well known. So I think today, nowadays, is people tend to put these two things together when it's not together, because a doctor is successful, but somebody who's in prison could be famous for it. So I think that's the problem. They put it together, which is not, it doesn't belong together. And as well as some of the things that people badmouth, or I know you didn't have anything against it, like OnlyFans. I don't think there's anything wrong with OnlyFans. The reason I say that is it's not that because it gives you so quick of money. It's not the thing itself, it's the person and what he thought when he was younger in terms of finances. We said the same thing with OnlyFans, basketball, football, and all these sports. And somebody winning the lottery. I don't think it's the money itself. I think it's the person and his ignorance and his lack of knowledge. I think maybe you should blame the society and the past generation for not teaching the current generation how to maintain their wealth and how to love each other more, instead of going outside and seeking validations from others. I think that's the biggest problem. If you take that out of it, a lot of these OnlyFans girls are a lot richer than all 3 or 4 of us sitting on these panels, which is ridiculous. But at the same time, you know, you can't knock them for that. When the opportunity comes, you gotta take it. And if we were women, you know, let's be honest, guys, we would do the same thing. I mean,
well, let me tell you something. There's a lot of guys on OnlyFans. There's a lot of women on OnlyFans. And my thing is this, you know what? It's a honest and a you know, it's an honest living. And I can't knock you for having an honest living. You know, there's, you know, there you can see a lot of men that do a lot of nude photography. I don't mind nude photography. I think nude photography is an art. I've done nude photography. I know everybody's going and Googling right now. It's like, what? You did some nude photography? Yes, I did. So
tell them what website, Derek.
No, that ain't none of your business. But listen, I believe the fact that you have to have the confidence to do and be who you choose to be, and know what success means to you. And you don't have to do it to be popular. You don't have to do it to get likes and things like that. So my thing is, do you be honest about it? And one performer I always loved, her honesty, was Madonna. And before, you know, people would put her in the tabloids and everything, and she would expose it. Yeah, I did it. You know, so what? So there was no longer a story because of the fact that she was honest about it. She didn't run from it. Then she made a song about it. She would make a video about it. So therefore, you couldn't talk about it no more. So be honest. You know, a lot of times we have so many politicians that get themselves into situations and then they try to make up these stories and everything. You know, I never did that with this woman. So you get impeached from your position because of the fact that you want to lie about it. And we ain't gonna say no nice thing because I don't have no money to go. And I don't think Mr.
Allegedly.
So, but listen, thank you guys for tuning in to Talking with 3D with the cast of Wake Up Uncensored. Tell everybody, Antwan, where they can watch Wake Up Uncensored.
Right now, we are streaming on all social platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we coming for TikTok.
I know that's right.
Coming.
Antwan, so where can everybody follow you?
You can follow me personally at AP Superb. That is my stage name. I forgot to say that early on.
Keith, where can everyone follow you, Keith?
But you can follow me on Instagram at officially Keith, KEITHC. That's me.
And Foday, where can everyone find you?
You can follow me at Instagram. On Instagram at KINGFO101.
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you have to check out Wake Up Uncensored. What day does Wake Up Uncensored come on?
We stream every Tuesday, but right now we are on hiatus. We're in production for season 3, so we are returning soon with brand new episodes. But until then, we need y'all to go and catch up on the old episodes that y'all ain't caught up on.
That's right. So go and binge watch season 1 and season 2. That's what you do.
And then get ready for season 3. You know, people be saying they don't get Instagrams, and people like, I ain't on Facebook. You get one or the other. You got Instagram.
That's right.
YouTube. So make sure y'all stream it.
And thank you, ladies. We have a site that's coming out that we are gonna have extra stuff on, and it will be out soon if AP can stop being lazy. Yes, I'm being shady today. It will be out soon, and everybody can go there and curse me out and say everything about the villain. And yeah.
Yes. You heard, hey, that was it. Yeah. So listen, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, to Talking with 3D, where real talk is for real people. I'm going to see you back here next week. Don't forget to tune in right here on Plush Work TV. Have a good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Hey,
thanks for having us.
Hey, King Fo.
Yeah.
I love you.
You almost got me. But but you cool too, my guy. I ain't breaking character. I am
Good
not
night.
breaking character.
The shade of it all, like.
Good night, everybody.